Guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's been a minute. We are back with the Tempe DC podcast. Coach Gino back here with Mark. Mark, give him a shout.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, guys? It's been a busy month of September. We've had a lot of events going down, but we are again coming back to you with the latest updates for the 10th Planet Daily City Gym and all the combat sports news that we are looking forward to. And again, all the stuff that we got coming up. We got a lot of things that are going to be changing around the gym, a lot of things that will be coming with renovations. We are currently under renovations at the gym. So again, guys, make sure you guys are staying tuned with the newsletter, making sure you guys stay up to date with all the announcements with the class schedules. A few of the schedules coming up. Schedule changes, I should say. If you guys haven't checked out the new yoga schedule, make sure you guys are in the loop with that. We're adding some earlier classes, 4:30 p.m.s. We're adding some Friday classes, and we're going to be changing at least a little bit of the format with the schedule. So if you haven't tried the yoga classes, feel free to jump in there and try your first free class out there. We got the wrestling classes again on 6 p.m. We're going to be changing that to 6:30 pretty soon in October. We're going to be changing that wrestling class to 6:30 p.m. So, again, you got a little more time for you guys to get into the gym on the Friday nights. Wrestling classes moving to 6:30 p.m. Newsletter should be out with all that news as well, so you guys will see it. TAC Fit seminar. Coach Hapa is going to be running a few TAC Fit seminars. Tactical fitness, if you guys aren't familiar with, it's a form of functional training that Coach Hapa has been teaching for many years. So if you guys are interested in doing the TAC Fit seminars, again, reach out to us at the staff. Let me know if you guys want to sign up for it. Today is September 29th, so we're going to be doing one tomorrow on the 30th at 1 o'clock. And then we got a few more coming up in October and a few other events that we'll announce once we have the dates for those. So TACFit seminars coming for you guys. These are free seminars. If you guys want to get familiar with the TACFit system, Coach Hapa will be out there answering your questions, and he'll be giving everyone a little bit of insight on what the TACFit program looks like and how you guys can actually perform in it. So, again, stay tuned for that. All the 10th Planet Oakland folks already know about that. We're bringing that over to Daly City now, so it should be a good time once we get that going. And hopefully we can make that a regular scheduled program for everyone. Great supplemental addition to training. And if you guys haven't tried a tactical fitness or TAC Fit session, I highly recommend you guys look into it. So, other events coming up. You know, we got a couple fights coming up in October. Again, it's the last day of September. Tomorrow, actually, we have, before we move on to the fights in October, tomorrow we have Grappling Industries. We got a lot of competitors out there, so shout out to all those who are out there tomorrow performing in the Jiu-Jitsu tournament in San Jose. Mark, right?
Yeah, San Jose.
Who do we got, Mark? We got Glow.
We got Jagroup.
Uh-huh.
We got Zachary.
Uh-huh.
We got Ari, we got Sam,
Yeah, a
and
lot
we
of
got
folks.
Eva.
Okay, very good, very good. So let me see also, speaking on those folks, we're going to also got to mention the recent promotions that we've had at the gym. We had a promotion day 2 weeks ago on the 15th. So shout out to all the folks who got promoted. We had Brandon, we had Sam, Glow, Rocky, Ari, the Hunter Jampera, we had Daniel, we had Justin. We had other folks who got promoted outside of the promotion day. We got Will, we got Julian, and we have Arthur and John Flores. So, again, shout out to all the guys who got promoted recently. Oh, can't forget Randall as well. If you guys didn't see Randall, check out his TikTok account. We'll probably maybe put a plug on there for Randall's TikTok. He's got a great page for you guys to check out. We got a lot of guys leveled up recently. That promotion day is always a good time, a good excuse for us to have a party and get together. And again, all those guys who are looking to get promoted, make sure you're talking to the coaches. Make sure you let us know that you're trying to be a part of our team, trying to make sure that you guys all are being heard and being watched and being serviced by the coaches to help improve your game. With the new promotions, again, I think it's a good moment to speak on how to carry yourself into this next level, whether you're going to blue, purple, brown, or black, whatever the case may be. With stepping up a level, it's really important that you guys understand that you're not looking to change overnight just because you change your belt color. You're not going to be just drastically feeling like, oh, I'm a new person, I'm a new athlete, whatever the case may be. You just got to keep grinding, and that's the case with everything else you do, right? Once you level up in anything, you get a promotion in work or any other situation, You just got to continue the momentum you're doing. It's a mark that's showing that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you should keep that progress going. A lot of people get promoted and then they start to get derailed. Their momentum starts to go down. They get complacent, because they got that promotion. They're thinking, oh, I'm good. That I got validated. Now I can lay off. The time is not to lay off when you get promoted. The time is to pick it up, ramp it up, and step it up to the next level. The first time I got my blue belt from Eddie, he said, it's time to step it up. That was the first thing he said to me after I got my blue belt. And that was something that I always remembered and I thought about. Now, mind you, I didn't proceed to continue to jump into jiu-jitsu tournaments or become a jiu-jitsu fiend at that time. It still took me some time to really find my groove in jiu-jitsu before, I was able to get my purple belt later and eventually find my style. So it's hard. It's hard to step up, especially at that blue belt. Blue belt is that first belt color you get. And it is the one that is should be the easiest of your belts, but there comes a lot of pressure on that. There comes a lot of pressure with being a blue belt, thinking that, hey, I'm expected to be at this certain level. I'm expected to do certain things. But all that expectation, all those things that you have, a lot of them are self-imposed, right? A lot of them are just things that, we're not looking for you to just continue to go out there and sub everyone or expect you to go out and can sub everyone. You're still going to get subbed by white belts. You're still going to have trouble with purple belts. You're still going to have all these issues because you got to remember everyone's progressing as well. Everyone's getting better. It doesn't mean anything other than we've seen your progress. We like your progress. The coaches appreciate you and your time on the mat, and they want to see you level up. They want to see you continue to go. So those promotions that you guys, a lot of us value so much, again, it's important to have that value on it, but at the same time, don't get hung up on the promotions. They're just a part of your lifestyle. Once you get to that level of being whatever, a black belt or whatever your goal is, you'll notice a lot of things don't seem as significant as far as you definitely should be proud about your promotions, but things aren't going to change. Not like everyone's going to be looking at you differently because you're a different belt color. It's just people will respect it, people will appreciate it, but things move on. So all those who haven't been promoted yet, who are looking to get promoted, don't get hung up on that either. Your time will come. Keep showing up, keep training, keep doing your thing, and you guys will get promoted. So just a little note I want to give out to the promoters. Mark, any last things before I move on to the combat sports updates?
Yeah, I think what's funny is what I heard from one of the new blues is they said, everybody's coming at me now. But
as well they should.
Yeah, that's also going to help you get better too. So
Right. I think that's a good thing, though. When people are coming after, that means you got a target. That means they got something that they want, right? Not necessarily they want your belt, but they want to level up. They want to prove themselves against a skilled opponent. If you don't have skills, then no one's going to target you. No one's going to bother with you, and that's something that you don't want either. You don't want to be ignored in the training room, seeing that, hey, you don't have no skill, you're not even a threat. You're coming to the gym to become a threat, to become dangerous, to become a person on the mat that is respected. And every time you level up, there comes that responsibility to level up the people around you, and that's the thing that is more important than your own achievement is like, hey, we've gotten as a team better, and this is my part of this process. When I level up, this is part of the process to get the whole team better. And I think that's something that as martial artists we can't overlook. As much as it is an individual sport, we are nothing without our teammates. Without our teammates pushing us, bringing us to the next level, we're not going to get better. So yeah, they're going to be coming at you. They're going to be looking for you, but you should revel in that. You should be able to say, hey, yeah, I'm down with that, because if they didn't, that would be the problem, I would say. If they didn't want to train with you, if they didn't want to go after you, and if they didn't think that you were even legit, that's where you want to kind of take a step back and say, hey, how do I make myself better so that we can have a team that's better, all over and all around. So that's very important.
could you also talk about why academies typically wait for blue belts before they could heel hook, and talk about how blue belts should be going about learning the heel hooks now that it's like sort of a brand new game coming into their blue belts.
Right. That's something where, looking at it with the blue belt system, like not all academies will follow that. I know plenty of academies they'll heel hook white belts. I've been there in the academies where I've heel hook white belts. I've had academies where you're heel hooking children, and it's like it just depends case to case. But at our academy, we do that for a certain reason, right? With the heel hooks, we always want to be cautious of. I always use the finger analogy when we're talking about heel hooks, right? When you bend your finger straight backwards, right? you're going to feel the pain. You're going to tap, right? If you bend your finger sideways, you don't really feel pain until your finger is broken, right? And the same kind of idea when you twist the foot and the ankle and the knee, you don't feel those pain receptors activate. And unless you're knowledgeable enough to know, like, hey, this is a bad mechanism or this is a bad maneuver, I should tap now, you're going to be ignorant and you're just going to wait. Oh, that doesn't hurt. And then you're going to keep moving. Maybe you turn the wrong way and then you're done for 6 months because those knees, they take a long time to heal, and those ligaments in the leg. This is why we wait for blue belt, because blue belt, you should depending on your background, typically around a year or 2 years, you should be in training, you should have your blue belt already, right? Depending on, again, consistency. In that amount of time, you should have plenty of experience seeing guys with their belts and with their systems of trying to deal with the leg locks. And you should have a good understanding by then of, hey, this is dangerous, or this is okay, or this is something I need to tap early, or something that you can kind of work out of. And again, as you get deeper into the leg locks and deeper into the more dangerous submissions in jiu-jitsu, you'll realize the consequences more. You'll understand the consequences more deeply. You'll understand why we shouldn't be doing these certain moves and why we need to be cautious with certain moves. Like jumping guard, scissor takedowns. All those things we got to be careful of. Slams. In the beginning, yeah, we say no slams, right? But you don't really understand why. As to the degree until you see someone get slammed and you're like, oh damn, this guy could have broken his neck. The idea of it you can get, but once you're on the mat and you start seeing these things, these actions, these people flying all over the mat, you don't really get that full comprehension of it. So you need time to do that, to comprehend things. You need the experience, and if you don't have the experience and you're trying to do all these dangerous maneuvers, someone's going to get hurt. It could be you, it could be your training partner, and that's what we're trying to mitigate at the gym as best as we can. So certain techniques, they're going to open up at blue belt. They're going to start to say, hey, you've been training for this amount of time. It's time you start playing with these techniques and start using these techniques so that now you also know how to defend them and attack them. And it works both ways. So that part of it, again, as much as it is very, very vital and we do our best to mitigate the injuries, they'll still happen every now and then. We can't totally avoid them. But I feel like if we have this standard of at least trying to have guys with a certain amount of experience before they try to do these dangerous techniques, that'll help mitigate some of the injuries. And a lot of injuries happen. Several can happen if you're just simply uneducated about how to move, how to protect yourself, and what to do in certain scenarios. Like when you're in a heel hook, the last thing you want to do is start twisting around and trying to scoot out of it. You can get away with that with like an arm bar or with the straight ankle lock, but if you start twisting around in the heel hook, you're gonna break your own knee, and that's something we want to mitigate as much as possible. So that's the reason I would say we do that. Other academies maybe have their own ways to go about things. I know some academies, I believe Walnut Creek was doing it for a while, where they would have listed white belts that are okay to heel hook. Once a certain point in your white belt journey, you're going to practice the heel hook. You're going to at least try it out. But some people develop the heel hooks quickly, and sometimes you can allow them to roll with it. If your partner is adamant about doing the heel hooks, yeah, you can do the heel hooks, if it's really something that they are confident in. But again, there's consequences to those, so make sure you guys are mindful of that. But yeah, that's the reason. Was that the answer to your question, Mark?
Yeah, that was perfect. Just wanted to have something to reference for the new blues, because a lot of them are now diving into the new leg lock territory, and they're just kind of like, how do I approach this?
Hey, it's fun. It's a new opportunity to learn new submissions, and it should be a good time. You shouldn't be scared of them. You should respect them, though, very much so. So, moving right along, we got combat sports news that we are going to touch base on. So, reflecting back on the few of the past fights we had, and we'll kind of go over some of the events. There's not going to be any fights this weekend, other than some boxing events and some jiu-jitsu events. But reflecting back on, first off, the Quintet event. Quintet returned back to Japan. Sakuraba was able to bring back Quintet. Man, 10th Planet got close to the finals, but unfortunately B-Team beat us in the end. That was a really good card. I didn't get to watch it fully. Mark, what is your thoughts on that Quintet event?
It was awesome. It was a really fun event. I think it would be cool to see. It's awesome to see our 10th Planet legends up there. It'd be cool to see some of the new breed come up and be able to compete in those if at all possible.
Right. We had Gio Martinez, Richie Martinez, PJ Barch, Amir Alam, and we had, who was the fifth guy? Kyle Bohm, right? So those guys are all studs in the 10th Planet system. But yeah, Marcus True, I like to see some of the newer guys. Maybe Keith Krikorian, right? Maybe Andy Varela. Who else we got? Who's some big boys we got? We don't have too many big boys in who are black belts. But again, if once these guys, Adult Slayer is coming up, but he's still really, really young, really fresh. But we got a lot of guys coming up in the system. I'm excited to see how they do in the future. Oh, Ryan Atkin, the kid from 10th Planet Atlanta, definitely got to respect his game. He's got a killer leg lock game. And, Sean Applegate's doing a great job over there in 10th Planet Atlanta, bringing up some killers. Alan Sanchez, he's out in there too. Would love to see Alan Sanchez in that mix. The quintet team, again, has been pretty standard. I think the only change they had from the first other quintets was trading off Adam Saknoff with Kyle Bain. And, other than that, again, the team has been pretty consistent. But, would love to see more teams come up in the quintet style formats. And who knows, down the line, there will be definitely some changes because, all the guys are going to eventually have to, step aside and let the new breed come in. But these guys are still going strong at this time. And, got to respect it, got to love it. So shout out to all the quintet teams and then, especially the 10th Planet Quintet team. Mad respect for going out there representing us in Japan. And, those events are really fun to watch. If you guys haven't checked them out, check them out. Quintet. Was that on UFC Fight Pass or Flow Grappling?
That was Flow.
Flow Grappling, yeah. So if you got a Flow Grappling subscription, check them out on the Quintet card, okay? So moving on past events. We got to talk about some of these UFC events because we had a lot that I wasn't able to touch base on. Let's start off talking about first the UFC strawweight? No, it wasn't strawweight title. What's the title for the women's Grasso and Shevchenko, Mark? Flyweight. The women's flyweight title, 125, right? 125 division. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko in their rematch. And the big upset that we saw was Grasso choking out Shevchenko in the first matchup. This second matchup was a banger fight, but ended up in a draw. A somewhat controversial draw for some reasons. But again, I didn't think it was that bad of a decision because, I thought Grasso won rounds 2, 4, and 5. So I gave the fight to Grasso. Mark, you gave the fight to Shevchenko, correct?
I did. I can't remember the rounds, but yeah.
But I had plenty of people say that they thought Shevchenko won the fight too. So, it was back and forth a lot of times. But the issue with that is not necessarily the draw, but the way it was scored. Fifth round, they scored the fight for one of the judges scored the fight for 10-8 for Grasso. And I don't think it was a 10-8. 10-8 rounds in MMA are very hard to judge, meaning a 10-8 round, like someone is almost finished. Someone is like almost dead. And Grasso, mind you, she did have Shevchenko's back. And she was attacking, but it wasn't like she knocked her silly or was it wasn't like Valentina was really, really close to tapping. She was in a bad spot, but I don't know if you'd consider it a 10-8. The only round I would consider a 10-8 is round 2 when Grasso knocked down Shevchenko with a big punch. So this is something that is very controversial. One judge scored it for Shevchenko, another one for Grasso, and then the 10-8 round was the draw round. And had that been just a simple 10-9 round, we would have seen Shevchenko become the new champ and regain her belt, right? And that 10-9 round was just something very strange about that. And we are still yet to have an explanation. It is unfortunate, like I said before. I really wish that the judges could come on the press conference, explain their scoring because we don't have no context as to how these people score these fights. And they need to be held accountable. What is going on in your head calling that a 10-8 fight? Again, if you can come out and justify it, it makes sense. But again, I didn't see a 10-8. Mark, you didn't see a 10, right? I don't think anyone saw a 10-8 round. And she definitely won that round in my opinion. Yeah. But 10-8, what is the 10-8 criteria here? And that's something that we need to have clarity on. I know some people have had meetings with judges and, that's something maybe they should put out publicly so that the whole world knows how they scored these fights because it is a boxing format of scoring, and it's not very practical for MMA. We've seen it time and time again. There is the option to use the 1FC format where they judge the whole fight as one. And speaking on that, we got to talk about Rod Tang versus Superleg. What a banger fight on that side. What a banger fight. Rod Tang versus Superleg. If you guys are not familiar with these two Thai warriors, Thai champions, they went at it. I think it was last week in the 1FC card. And they had a war. First round, Rod Tang cuts Superleg. Second round, Superleg drops Rod Tang. Third round, they're going back and forth. Rod Tang throwing hard punches. Superleg getting into the clinch and throwing hard knees. Ended up getting the victory in the end of the decision and 3-round fight to Superleg. And again, we got to see a rematch on that fight. And that was, again, a fight where going back to the scoring system, since you could say Rodtang won the first and third round. And you definitely have to say that Superleg got a 10-8 with the knockdown in the second round. So with that scoring criteria, it would be a draw. But in ONE FC, they don't do draws, so they gave it to Superleg for that decision. Now, that could be controversial as well. Superleg was cut. He was bleeding all over the place. He was in a bad shape. Rodtang got dropped once, and it was very, very difficult to see it live, the knockdown. But, it definitely was a knockdown after the replay, but it wasn't like a clear knockdown. Rodtang got right back up, and then they were on the count, and he looked fine. So, again, when we talk about fights, the subjectiveness of fights, it's difficult. I get it. Being a judge is hard, and I wouldn't want to do it. But let's get some understanding. Let's get some transparency. Let's get some of this answers that we need, because what the hell is going on with these fights? Like when we get to these decisions like Grasso and Shevchenko, we need to have an answer. And I think the public deserves that. They spend their hard-earned money on, these subscriptions, these pay-per-views, and to see the sports going on, even for the athletes, you definitely saw both athletes thinking that they won the fight. Shevchenko was definitely upset about the decision, and it's what it is. Rodtang, Superleg, I think they both came to a very respectful. I mean, Rodtang and Superleg are both good friends already, and Rodtang was happy with his performance because it was a fun time. But again, we gotta see we gotta have some answers with these fights. People, come on, like what are we doing here? What is going on with these fights? And I just really wish that they made this a priority for the fans and for the whole sport, just so the athletes as well know what to do in these fights. So, moving on, we got last week we had a lot of good fights as well, and I gotta touch base on some of the fights we have. Rafael Fiziev versus Gamrot. In that main event last week, that was supposed to be a banger fight, and it was a banger fight in the beginning, but unfortunately, Fiziev looks like he dislocated his knee throwing a right round kick on his left leg, and that was just a very unfortunate finish to that fight. I think that was in the second round. Let me see. Yep.
Yeah, second round.
Second round. We didn't know what was going on right when it happened. Like it seemed like he broke his foot or something, or a kick. But Fiziev is a Muay Thai champ, and like him breaking his foot on a kick didn't make much sense. It was actually the knee he was standing on. So when he threw the kick landed on the body of Gamrot, and then Fiziev just went down and started hugging the leg he was standing on. So it was definitely an unfortunate injury. You hate to see it. Gamrot gets away with the victory, a KO TKO victory, and it is what it is. But Fiziev, I'm sure will be back. He'll be back, and definitely with a vengeance to get back that win. I'm sure they got to run that back.
Yeah, it was confirmed that it was a torn left ACL.
Ooh. So it wasn't dislocated knee, torn ACL. That's never good. ACLs always take a while to heal. So we'll see. Moving on, that whole card, with the exception of this next one, was finishes. So no judges were needed in these in most of these fights. But this next fight, I actually am kind of on the fence over. Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige. Mark, did you score that for Bryce Mitchell?
I did, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, everyone, allergies killing me. So, Mark, what did you think about that fight? Bryce Mitchell, Dan Ige.
I just thought his grappling was really nice.
Yeah. Damage-wise, Ige did more damage.
Yeah.
Damage-wise. In ONE FC event, I think they may score that for Dan Ige because they're big on damage there. Bryce Mitchell had more control, more takedowns, more submission attempts, and he definitely looked dangerous, but he was cut and he was almost blinded in there. Bryce Mitchell, a character with that Bible coming out and just yelling about, anti-Satan stuff, which, all respect to him is what he's doing, but definitely a character. That one, watch. Let me know what you guys think, if you thought Mitchell won that or if Dan Ige won that. But at the end of the day, Bryce Mitchell gets away with the decision victory on the 3-round fight. The next fight, women's strawweight division, Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Karate Hottie Waterson Gomez. And Michelle Waterson, I should say, I mean, that's what most people know her as, has been a vet for many years, killer in the atomweight division. Mark was mentioning that before to me, that she's really truly an atomweight, but the UFC doesn't have atomweight division, so, she's been fighting the strawweight for the last few years. Marina Rodriguez, though, killer Muay Thai. I think this is the rematch. I didn't realize they fought before too. So this is their rematch. And Marina Rodriguez just had her way the whole fight. Was busting up Michelle Waterson. Was very, very aggressive. Waterson didn't have no answers. They could have stopped that fight in the first round. I honestly feel, but they went to the second. Marina drops her. Michelle goes down, curls up. I mean, she's trying to fight back, but the refs stop it and it's not enough. I think we all saw enough. And, unfortunate for one of these veterans in the sports. Karate Hottie's been around a long time. She's a fan favorite. But I think it may be time to hang him up. It was just hard to watch that fight. Mark, you saw that one as well, right?
Yeah, that was a tough one. Definitely a Karate Hottie fan.
Marina Rodriguez is nasty, though.
Yeah.
Marissa Watterson, she definitely has, again, a lot of experience. She's been around the sport a long time. But Marina Rodriguez, my God, that Muay Thai was so nice. And she was just killing with elbows, punches, kicks, knees, everything. It was just so nice.
Yeah.
So
I felt like I was like, dude, she's going to be a big title contender. And then she had two losses. There was like 2 losses that she had. But yeah, she looked really good. I think when she beat Dern, I was like, okay, this girl's legit.
she beat Dern, huh? I didn't even see that. Let me see. Hold on.
She had a win streak of Amanda Hebos and then Watterson and then Dern and then Yao Shan.
Right, that's right. So yeah, freaking Marina Rodriguez is a danger. She is up there in age though, so she better get on, the pedal, and she better be hitting the gas real hard, because she got to get there soon, because this is not a old person sport. This is a young person sport. You got to make sure you got that youth on your side. So she better make that run soon. 2 other fights that I didn't get to watch too close. Brian Battle wins by decision against AJ Fletcher by submission in round 2. I saw that one a little closer. Brian Battle was getting beat up in the first and came back with a submission win in the second round. So shout out to Brian Battle. And Ricardo Ramos versus Charles Jourdain. Jourdain I've been watching a lot, and I really like his style. Jourdain is going to be a title contender. Mark my words. Jourdain is going to be a title contender one of these days. Submission round 1. And very, very dangerous guy right there in Charles Jourdain. So super excited to see his future in the sport. Going back also, shout out before that, so in the Grasso Shevchenko card, Raul Rosas came back after his loss against his second UFC appearance. His third one was just a vicious KO against his opponent. His opponent looked outclassed in so many ways. Did not look like he belonged there, but Raul Rosas did his job, took him out quick, and really got the job done, made a statement in that UFC Noche card. UFC Noche card was great. Mexico came out, it was in Vegas, but the Mexican fans came out strong. And Raul Rosas, Mexican kid himself, very, very strong turnout, very strong performance out there. So shout out to him and for all the other Mexican fighters who've been killing it in the UFC. So we are covered with the UFC events. The next one that we will be talking about soon, the big one, we got to do a post-fight and a pre-fight and a post-fight breakdown, is going to be Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira in the rematch. We're going to talk about that next time. But last ones for the day. Again, we got a couple events coming up this weekend. Canelo Charlo. I'm picking Canelo, and I think most of the community will be. Charlo's a good fighter, but Canelo is just on the next level. Not too much to say about that. It's boxing, and boxing it's already got its kind of understanding that these are the big hitters in the game, and Canelo, obviously, probably the number 1 fighter right now as far as the pay-per-view seller. He's kind of been on a tear. It's hard to see his momentum going down. The only fight that I'm looking at for Canelo to really have a run for his money is against, how am I blanking on his name? David Benavidez. That's the only run for his money. And then maybe have a super fight against Terrence Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford's been talking about going up and fighting Canelo, which would be crazy. And we'll see how that goes. So Canelo Charlo this weekend. Let me know what you guys think on that fight. And then also, who's number 1? Mark, when is that? Is that Sunday? Is that next week?
I got to check the date. But we also have the one card in a couple hours.
Oh, man. How can I forget?
This is going to come out after the card. But
run them through, Mark. What do we got for the main card?
Let's see. The ones that I'm looking at that are going to be exciting is definitely the John Lineker one.
John Lineker, always banger fights.
And then we got Danielle Kelly against Jessica
Khan. Yes, and a super fight jiu-jitsu match. That's going to be good. Okay.
Their second fight, right?
Right.
And then we got Stamp.
You got Stamp versus Ham. Very good.
Samilia.
Oh, and Samilia Fairtex versus Alicia Rodriguez. Yeah. That is going to be bad. Don't sleep on that one. Alicia Rodriguez, I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Samilia too. And those two are going to be back. This card tonight is going to be a banger event. We'll talk about that after we watch the fights tonight, because the women are showing out on ONE FC. The women are killing it right now in that show. I think Jackie Buntam was supposed to fight on that against Smila, but Alicia Rodriguez stepped up and ended up taking the fight against Smila. So champ versus champ, going to be a good one. Stamp is going for the vacant MMA title since Angela Lee stepped down from the UNFC due to her issues with personal issues with her sister passing and all the issues that she's having in her personal life. She's stepping down as champ for the time being, but who knows? She may return and she may come back for another scrap.
Then I totally skipped Wonder Girl versus what's her name, the Panda.
Yes, Wonder Girl is coming back. So we got ladies are showing out tonight. It's gonna be a good fight for women MMA, women kickboxing, women Muay Thai. It's gonna be a good one tonight. You guys got to stay tuned for that. So I'm going to make sure we touch base on that next time. But again, who's number one's coming up? The Tazos, who's number one? We got Gordon Ryan making his return. It's been a while. Gordon's been going through some health issues for a long time, but definitely would love to see him perform well, come back. He's facing Gaudio. I'm not even sure who this dude is, honestly. Patrick Gaudio. So that's going to be a good one. Excuse me. We also have who's Ashley St. Marie? Sorry, who is it? Brianna St. Marie. I think she was the ADCC champion, right? Versus Elizabeth Clay. I believe Clay is a 10th Planet girl, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. No, I think Elizabeth Clay. Actually, she's not. She's not a 10th Planet girl. But that's going to be a good matchup. The who's number one again is on Flow Grappling. In these, we have a couple tournaments. We have the who's number one 170-pound title bracket with PJ Barch, Andrew Tackett. Who else we got in there? Jay Rodriguez and Mika Galvao. That's going to be a banger of a one for tonight. I obviously going for PJ. Shout out to the 10th Planet representative out there. And in the 145 division, we got Keith Krikorian representing 10th Planet. We've got Diego Race, Baby Shark, Gabriel Souza, and Ash Williams. So we got another banger of events. A lot of events going out. So if you're a fan of that pure jiu-jitsu, tune in. This is going to be Sunday, October 1st. So it's going to be Sunday. Tune in for that one. We got a weekend full of combat. No UFC, but plenty of other combat sports. And you got to love it seeing all these other sports come together and have a good time. So plenty of stuff for you guys to chew on. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of the fights. I'll talk to you guys at the gym, or again, leave your comments and leave all your other things on the social media, the YouTube, whatever it may be. Again, guys, appreciate you guys subscribing, tuning in, and checking in on us. We will be back more consistently soon. We're going to come back with you with some more updates on the gym, more updates on combat sports. And again, appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. So talk to you guys soon. Mark, any last words before you call it for today?
Good luck to everyone competing at Grappling Industries.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome to see how y'all do.
That's true. All right, guys, take it easy, train hard, stay consistent.